Hello comic book junkies, it's the Frog Queen here, and today I'm bringing you my second interview from my trip to TCAF, the Toronto Comics Arts Festival. I am thrilled to bring you this interview with the co-owner of Avery Hill Publishing, Rick Miller, as well as one of my favorite Avery Hill artists and writer, Rachael Smith. They have come all the way to Canada from the UK, and I couldn't be happier to finally meet these people in person after all these years of reading Avery Hill books. I was so excited to finally get hard copies of Rachael's books directly from her, because I wanted signed copies, of course. Rachael's books with Avery Hill include The Rabbit and the most recent edition, Artificial Flowers, which is the sequel to a book which very much means a lot to me, called House Party. In this video, we talk a little bit about her books, her process, and all about Avery Hill. You can find all of Rachael's books for sale on the Avery Hill website, averyhillpublishing.com. And without further ado from me, here's Avery Hill Publishing.
Okay, so I guess I first wanted to ask you what you're currently working on, what you're currently promoting. I mean, I know this answer, but I know my audience doesn't know this answer.
Currently, I'm working on my Patreon a lot, so I'm doing diary comics for that, and my webcomic Beths I'm working on a lot. I'm still doing the monthly comic strips for Doctor Who, the 10th Doctor series, and I'm also working on my new book, which I can't talk about too much because I don't know what's happening with it, but hopefully it'll be out next year, so hopefully I'll have a new big book out there next year.
Okay. And obviously Avery Hill has published a lot of your work. How did you kind of get involved with Avery Hill? How did all that happen?
I gave you the pitch for The Rabbit at Thought Bubble one
year,
didn't I?
Yeah, I think actually you probably don't remember it. It started a bit before that in the sense that I tried to get House Party, which was Rachel's previous book, but yeah, she knocked us back on that one. And then she saw the error of her ways and came to us with a pitch for The Rabbit. So yeah, but I think we've always kept in touch because even if I get knocked back, I like to kind of keep in touch with people I think are good and keep an eye on them and stuff. And so. Yeah, so we kept the channel open.
Yeah. And so that was The Rabbit, and since then we've done Artificial Flowers together, and they've both done pretty well. Yeah,
and then they've both been really good. Yeah.
And Artificial Flowers was the main one that I needed to pick up because I haven't read it or reviewed it yet. Of course, I read House Party back when it first came out and fell in love. So for me, I was just like, oh. I didn't realize that wasn't on Avery though. I was looking back trying to think what was
House Party was with Great Beast, which was kind of an artist collective rather than a publisher.
Yeah. Where are they now, Rachel? Where are they now?
Well, because it was run by two creators, they decided to stop so that they could concentrate on their own projects as well.
I recall this now. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I totally remember this because I actually read pretty much everything they had done at the time.
Yeah,
it was a cool little collective.
It was nice.
And I mean, that's like an amazing way for people to kind of start out.
Sure.
You know, especially if you're like not super well known, like indie artists, and they can kind of band together and print things together and share
and
the load.
Share knowledge and stuff, and tips on printing. Because I had no idea of how to get stuff ready for print and anything like that. I'd never printed anything with a spine before. Those guys were really helpful in getting me ready for that. So.
Oh, that's fabulous. So is Avery going to be publishing your upcoming book, which you can't really talk about?
I don't know. I don't know.
Not there yet?
I've only just started the pages.
Oh, okay.
So it'll be a little while until I'm even ready to start talking to publishers about it. But they'll certainly get a pitch package. Yeah.
Well, I'm excited for it.
Maybe it's my turn to be knocked back by Avery Hill.
That doesn't seem right. I don't think that's how it works.
Circle of life.
It's finally our chance to get revenge. Basically. So it's what we've been biding our time for.
So how does Avery work when they're looking for talent, and how do you choose people to publish? Like, what is it that you're specifically looking for?
It's kind of a variety of things. We like to try and find new creators. We think that's really important. We think that's kind of our niche, really, because there are a lot of other big publishers out there who kind of do the next book by the big person who's around. And to be honest, I find that whole idea a bit boring, really. It's like, because most of the time you just feel like those books, that creator could have done it with any company, so you don't really see the identity of the. I kind of like the space between the publisher and the creator and what that creates, rather than just someone who's got a book who could do it with anybody. And then, especially the way we work, in the sense that we've all got day jobs, so we don't do it for money. So it feels almost, unless we're kind of involved creatively in that kind of way, it loses interest for us. It feels more like a proper job if you do that, rather than something that you kind of give birth to with the creator, which I guess is how we think about that stuff. But go back to your question, because I got sidetracked. I think the main thing is story. Like we're kind of we're very much into the story. You see a lot of really talented artists who can't tell stories, and Rachael especially is a really good writer, and I think that writing is the most important thing. And there's a lot of creators who come out of university and they're really good illustrators, and they think, oh, I make a comic because I'm really good at drawing. And it's like, oh no, that's the second part. The first part is what's your story? How are you going to write that? And then communicating that through drawing is what you're doing. You're not drawing a bunch of pictures that it's all about. You can have a terribly drawn comic that's beautifully written, which is still amazing and will be as good as anything. But you can't have a beautifully drawn comic that's terribly written, because there's no point to it.
That's interesting too, because Avery Hill does quite a few kind of non-linear type stories.
Yeah, I'd say that, but I think if it's non-linear, it's generally character or idea based, in the sense that there's something to get hold of. It's not just a series of images which don't really mean anything, because that would drive me nuts. I hate those comics. I don't read them. I can't even watch those kind of films or anything. It's like unless there's a character line I can get a hold of, or a concept that I'm really interested in, then that's kind of what. Yeah, it doesn't have to be plot, I guess. When I say writing, it's the ideas, I guess, and the fact that someone's got a voice.
Do you find yourself going out looking and hunting, or do you find it coming your way?
No, we actually discourage people coming to us.
Okay.
In kind of a weird way, in the sense that we kind of feel like we're curating something. So again, it's kind of what I was saying earlier. It's like when someone just comes to you and gives you something, it's like, I don't feel like I work for that. And so we like finding people and kind of especially new people. We kind of actively don't accept submissions from our website. The only time we kind of accept cold submissions if people come up to us at shows and stuff, because then you kind of meet them and you're like, okay, well, this is fine, and hopefully they buy something, which is really helpful. But that's a good tip to anyone wanting to get published. You go up to people and buy stuff from them. If you're don't just go up to the table and pitch, because that's rude. So,
that's so interesting, because I've been helping one of my friends who's a new writer. And every table he starts pitching, and I'm like, stop that. I'm like, kind of slap the hand a little bit, So no, it's really interesting.
I mean, it's good to be confident, but be a bit empathetic to the people behind the table, like they're working.
And Koyama says some good stuff on it. She's basically like, I'm here working. I'm not here to be a service to you. My job is to sell the books of the creators I've got. It's not here to listen to your pitches, and I don't owe you anything. Essentially, it's how she puts it. I totally agree with that. Yeah. Of course, Annie's got the rep, so she can get away with putting it like that. So we have to put it nicely. But yeah, it's that's basically my tip to people wanting to get published by something.
Right.
And also look at people's tables and see if your work is actually like their work, rather than just coming along with a superhero rip-off to an indie comics publisher, because they're not going to take that.
Does that happen a lot?
Yeah, kind of. Well, not so much superhero, more genre type stuff. So you get like quite a lot of horror stuff or kind of manga stuff, when it's just not the stuff we do. It's not that I'm against all that stuff. It's fine. It's just you should look at what people do.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I completely agree. And when you're as an artist, like, how do you shop around for a publisher? Like, do you find, I should say artist and writer. My mistake, artist and writer. But for either, because I know that you do drawings. Doctor Who, you're generally working with a writer, correct? Wasn't it?
I have worked with Paul Cornell on some strips that he wrote, but largely I write all of my own stuff for Doctor Who.
Oh,
yeah. I do the humour strips for the 10th Doctor, so it's only generally 1 or 2 pages every month, so they're very short. But yeah, I write them.
Those
I write them as
I did not know
Thank
that.
you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Those are great. But how do you do it from your perspective when you're shopping around and stuff?
I mean, as Ricky was saying, it's really good to contextualize your work with what the publisher has already brought out. So, yeah, when you're pitching you know, when you're writing that cover letter, it's good to sort of say, oh, I noticed you published this, I bought it from you at this convention, it's similar to some themes that are in my book. So yeah, make sure you've done your research, I guess. And yeah, I tend to send quite a lot out just to see what happens. But yeah, I've got some people in mind for the new book. But
oh, okay. Oh no, that's fantastic. Okay, I won't pressure you about the new book, although I'm terribly interested. Could you, because I haven't read Artificial Flowers.
Okay.
Could you tell us a little bit about what it is?
Well, if you've read House Party, it's kind of about what Siobhan, the girl with the blue hair, did after that.
Oh, that's fabulous.
She is trying to be an artist in London, and she's having a bit of a hard time of it. It's pretty tough to get kind of gallery owners to look at her work properly. And then she gets, her parents decide to send her little brother to live with her for a bit, who is a pyromaniac, so he kind of shakes her life up a little bit, and Siobhan and her little brother are like totally opposites, so they bounce off each other quite well. Yeah, it's a fun book.
When I read House Party, I really, as someone who actually went to art school and kind of like was like, now what? I really felt a huge affinity to it. I was like, yo, this is so real. Do you find, is it kind of autobiographical, or like how does that story come out of you? Like where did it come from?
Yeah, I mean, I did art at university, and I came out of uni and just felt a little bit lost. And I think at that age, there's a lot of pressure on, you know, people to choose what they want to do with their life, and it's kind of about, you know, it's okay if you don't know what you want to do with your life. That's fine.
Thank God.
Yeah, that.
I feel so validated.
There's hope for you yet, Ricky. So yeah, just that feeling of, you know, being a bit lost and the pressure of being that age, I think.
Was comics something you always wanted to be into, or did you kind of like segue into it? Because I know that happens sometimes when you get out of art school. And I don't know. I feel like everyone has their story. I want to know yours too.
Yeah, I mean, I loved comics as a kid. I used to read Sonic the comic. That was kind of my first, you know, experience of comics. And like, I'd be so excited about Sonic the comic. I'd get home and I'd be like shaking, ready to read it. I was so excited about it. But then when I got a bit older, I kind of fell out with them a bit because I had a lot of prejudices about comics. Like, I thought they were just superheroes stuff, which doesn't really turn me on at all. And then I found Scott Pilgrim, and that was when the penny kind of dropped, and I was like, oh, comics can just be about anything. Like, it's just another medium. And I was like, I love drawing, and I love telling stories. This is like, why haven't I been doing this? So yeah, I started, my first kind of gig was for the local newspaper for where I was living, and I did like a little story every week, just like a little strip. And that I did that for like 4 years every week. And yeah, just got better at kind of the crafting of it and the story structure and stuff like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
okay.
Thank you.
What about you? How did you get into comics? Was it something you always wanted?
When I was a kid, I used to kind of grew up reading like lots of British reprints of Transformers comic, and G.I. Joe, and all that kind of toy-based stuff, and then moved on to superhero comics, and then to kind of indie stuff. Like Cerebus was a big gateway to the indie world for me.
That one comes up a lot. I'm so always surprised about that one. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I was massively into Cerebus before I realised that it was crazy and wrong. Like Strangers in Paradise and Bone and those kind of things. That was kind of my age really when all those kind of indie self-publishers were coming up, and they had this big philosophy about self-publishing and how they didn't need to work for big corporations, and they could make, and they were making quite a lot of really good money out of it if they were successful. And then when I went to university, financially I kind of just stopped buying comics because it was an expensive habit, and I'd much rather spend it on alcohol. So
I knew you were going to say that.
I think we've all been there though.
Yeah.
So I kind of dropped out, and plus it was a good time to drop out because most of the mainstream companies went really, like Marvel had a terrible period after that. It wasn't that great. And then Dave, who I run Avery Hill with, who I've known since I was 11, who also we both used to go to the comic shop together and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
When he started getting back into comics and telling me about them, and I would laugh in his face, going like, "You're like 28, Dave. What are you doing?"
What no?
And then I think he led me a couple of things. I can't remember, maybe Why the Last Man and Fables. I think those are the ones. And I was like, oh, actually, these are quite good. And then I found out that most of the kind of creators I really liked had started doing stuff in the mainstream. So like Grant Morrison, I'd read like kind of his early indie stuff, and Neil Gaiman and all those kind of people. I was like, how did that happen? How does that happen? So I started reading that again. And I was like, actually, this is really good. And Dave, this is rambling, but basically me and Dave used to be in a band together and then we got too old to be in a band, so then we started doing like a music podcast.
What was your band?
We were called the Do Nothing Kings. We were excellent, we were really good. Yeah, look us up, you won't find it. Then we started doing the music podcast. And then Dave, which Dave had suggested, and then we started doing a zine called Tiny Dancing, which Dave started because he wanted to do something physical. We felt like the internet was a bit too trans. I mean, you probably find it yourself, it's very hard to know how many people listen to stuff or watch stuff, especially back in those days because you never believed the numbers, really. Yeah, it was kind of weird. So we wanted to do something physical that we could see people buying and could create. And I started doing a comic in that called Metroland, which I used to write and draw, and Dave did some kind of humour stuff and some drawings. And then we found people like Tim Bird and Owen Pomeroy did some things for us in that. And so both of them two are creators now that were stuck with us for ages, and Tim won Best Comic for Grey Area, which the British Comic Awards a couple of years ago, which we put out. And so at that point we were like, oh, why don't we just publish something by somebody else? So we published the first issue of Grey Area by Tim Bird, which did really well, and then we just kind of expanded it from there, really. And it's very accidental. Like, we had no... like, I remember saying to Dave, we should set up a publishing company. And it's like, what do you mean? Why would you do that? Why would people come to us? I was like, well, basically, I think if you just call yourself a publishing company and you pay for the printing, you essentially are publishers. If we register it, like, that's us. And that is essentially how it works. And it's always my advice as well to people is, if you want to be something, just say you are it, and people will believe you, especially if you have business cards.
I think that's true for what I do as well. Is like one day I just started writing about comics like on the internet, and then I was like, man, I'd really like to ask these specific creators these specific questions, and then I just started doing that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm a comic book journalist.
Yeah.
And I've been doing it for years, but like that's kind of how I got like big people that control Marvel to speak to me and answer my questions.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like bizarre, but I was just like, yes, I'm a comic book journalist. I have my own website.
Exactly. All you need is a website.
I know, which is amazing, really.
Yeah.
But that's an awesome story. I love it. I was wondering, maybe if you could tell me a bit about what Avery Hill is currently promoting. Of course, they know, my audience knows that I've already read some of the recent ones, but if you could just talk about upcoming everything.
Yeah, sure. So we're in the big spring release cycle at the moment of like cons and new books coming out, and so we just released Goat Headed by Charlie Afraid. By the way, I don't know how to pronounce any of that creators' names unless because most of the time you just see it written down. So if I'm pronouncing anyone's name wrong, I'm sorry. Charlie Afraid's Goat Headed, which is kind of a cool existential sci-fi book, I would say.
It's done really well.
Yeah, that's
TCAF.
done really well.
Yeah.
We met him for the first time here actually. Like he came.
Oh,
up.
wow.
Yeah, he's kind of hanging around. He's very cool. Really nice guy. And then also Ghosts Etc. by George Wilder, which doesn't officially come out in the US and North America until September, but we just started selling it. We've got copies.
Secret launch.
Yeah.
I'm definitely grabbing those after this interview because I have read the digital, but I didn't just feel like I need the actual copies.
Yes, it's come out really nicely actually. So they're both really good. So we're promoting those, and also Something City by Elise Weaver, which is coming out at LCAF in a couple of weeks, which is East London Comic Arts Festival, which is very cool if you ever get to London. That's a great one to go to. So that's kind of what we're doing. There are lots of shows and things.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
What shows are you hitting up?
So yeah, LCAF is next, and then we've got, it's mainly London ones we've got now. So not London, UK. Full Bubble in Leeds, which is like the biggest one probably, which is excellent.
I met that one too.
Yes.
Oh, excellent! Yeah, I'm actually planning to try and get out to Leeds.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Thought Bubble is a great show. It's similar to TCAF in its kind of philosophy, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been salivating over it for a couple of years, and I'm like, I should probably just do it this year. You know?
And similar to TCAF, a lot of people launch their books at Thought Bubble as well, so it's really good to pick up brand new stuff.
That's what I love.
Yeah, we spend a lot there. Also, we're going to SPX. I totally forgot that.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Which is the weekend before Full Bubble actually. So that's going to be a busy week.
Is that
that's going to be
Washington?
tiring. Yes, that's in Cedar or something. I can't remember. It's a bit outside Washington.
You should find out where it is before you go.
The plane will take me wherever I need to go. And Google Maps will do the rest.
Sure.
And are you traveling with them, or are you going to be going to any on your own?
No, we're both at Thought Bubble. I'm doing MCM London not next weekend, but the weekend after. I've got one in Hull, I think. I always need to check my own website whenever anyone asks what shows I'm doing because I forget. But yeah, mine are all in the UK now. This is my last kind of overseas one for this year.
And can everybody check out your new webcomic? It's an ongoing webcomic, right?
Yeah, it's I publish a page every week.
Okay.
If you go to my website, rachelsmith.org, there's a link to it.
Okay, excellent. All right. And for Avery Hill, it's averyhill.com, right?
AveryHillPublishing.com. Yeah.
Publishing.com. Thank you. I'll definitely include all that information so that everybody there can check it out. But thank you so much for giving me your time today.
Cool, thank you.
It means a lot, and thank
thanks
you for all
for
the
reviewing
awesome
the books
books.
as well. It's really good reviews. Really appreciate it.
Thanks. All right. I'm definitely going to come pop over and buy those other books because